Sit down, have a glass of whiskey, snort a pair of kings, sell yourself into the Hades. Have you ever wondered how many things a pair of married lobes can do? But you didn't care. You fried them up. Isn't that a pity? Proceed. Agree to all terms. The night was violet, deep violet, and the trumpets were tender, sweet and tender. And meanwhile, the carriage passed by, filling the air with trash, with ashes, with vain prescriptions for the anxiety to go. Did you gamble up your life because of a hunch? Because if you did so, that's quite clever. Welcome. Also, it may appear that we are fragmented, that our thoughts are, compared to those of a systematized nature, pretty lame. It is not the way they appear to be that of which they are. You play dices, you have tells. Can you think of two or more things at the same time? It melts into oblivion surely fast. It happens all the time. But you may have a solution for that, don't you? Press start to begin. Now behold, apart or whatever, the poem falls as a single feather. Do not, by all means necessary, involve yourself in wisdom or mystery, for the hysteria that comes after love will dissolve you into listening voices out of thin air. Sweet isles of outside. There! You just lay down wondering. You say, I wonder, is it true? Was it true? And it never happens. Yet it was supposed to happen. Central kept chattering while the jungle mixed its signals over the barbaric habits of lizards and lichen. By now you should be dead enough, aren't you? Please press click to continue. Lay down over the grass and feel the weather change, as a word from your mind finds the sword that divides the seas into yes and no, both being the same. Clouds and sewers and the sun and viewers. You should be quite annoyed by now, aren't you? Yet you persist. There's a reason hanging over there, a gone body, a mind that no data seems to activate. And there is a permutation of the layered effects that done were over the abyssal out there that still remains. Yes, you are gone. You have performed your living ritual. But you are still here. The necromancer has a way to solve all this up. Archimedes lays down on the grass, with the tree falling on his shadow, and while he chats with those that you shouldn't chat with, everything turns into thinly tuned hertz of radio stations. Why is there no internet in here? It asks. Nobody bats an eye, and the eeriness and the solitude emerges. By now, you should be able to walk soulless, not to say bodiless, over this oh-so-grandiose Aiden. Please press return to return. So everything starts choopity-chappity to fall down. JC, what it's going on?
Central solves the riddle and walks away in abstractions, yet it cannot dissolve itself into the asylum of the loon, more even less in the land of the gone. Its power is vast, all-encompassing, yet limited to the realm of sense. Those chains of signifiers mean nothing when they are purely virtual, purely out there, without any concrete meaning arising from the fingers or the mouth. Please juggalos yourself out of surveillance. You have lost your mask. You have seen the horror and the ineffable beauty of what lays beyond. There's an immense nothingness surrounding every little thing with splendor and odor, yet it doesn't seem to accurately display that sacred place that we built over the centuries to escape.
This is the land of the dreams, the land of the free, until the hallucination fantasized turns into a nightmare, and you wake up again, embodied. Hey boy, come have a little chittery chat with me. The graves are old and fine-tuned, and the wording eyes happen to not know a single thing. The continuum appears at sight as if it wasn't what it is. The tormented kid rose up and walked away from yesterday, yet he forgot to change his costume. Nice disguise, eh, kid? Now come here. Let me show you something. The trumpets, this little trumpets, the sounds of the heaven opening, as if it was not just an opinion or a conjecture, and the serpents wandering the garden, just behind the tree, in front of everyone's eyes, gazing at the sunlight and never going blind. Is this just another kind of sick joke? It asks. Of course it is, Archimedes replies, and laughing like a psyched-out maniac, falls into a catatonic delirium, still as a marble statue of himself. I cannot move, it says. Now you wander around, without even thinking about a but or a thing to be told, but just wander around, not even appreciating the beauty of this oh-so-landless world. Yet your wings are tired, and your feet cannot tolerate the heat of the soil and the laughter of the diamonds. The sacrifice is now done, says, and comes over the little kid's face.
This isn't a sick joke, but you already knew that, didn't you? Of course you knew that. From before, from the past, from where the there imagined never matches the actual of the there. It cannot. Its encompassing mind goes around and finds virtue in denying every authority to the gone, the panicked and long gone, while it remains a mystery or an hysteria, to become a master of the juggling sense game.
Have you ever wandered throughout Aden and found yourself losing your mind? Let's be honest, just for a second. You never had one. It was the case that your lonely amusement of licking a dick was there, but you know it wasn't the case, isn't it? You see, the past, the gone past, it remains, so unsure as you are, with the transubstantiating faces all around, who it was. Because if you don't speak soon, the rope is going to hang your neck down to Zell, and you know that for a fact, don't you? Pick up the phone, sell your songs to slavery, try to watch the moon fall down the hill without getting the chills of existence, of finitude, of reminiscence. Things aren't going to get better, that's true, but they aren't going to change either. There's no mercy for people like you and I, and even though I'm a nightmare, my worst-case scenario, all you had to do was to talk, to speak out loud, to phenomenalize what happened. Yet you didn't. You preferred to stay out there, watching the sunrise, burning it all like a fuse in the middle of the electric ocean that surrounds us by now. But you shouldn't get mad about it, and you don't. You know there's suffering, and only suffering. You know there are mad, real mad things occurring outside. So you decide to stay in the room, that great orb, where the world seems to collide with belly buttons and wormholes. Besides, there's nothing left to do, isn't it? Please follow the rules as instructed. Never mind my mind in this strange situation, but have you ever wondered about the peculiar notion of having to be a something concrete? Shh. Be discreet. The kid is still yawning and yelling, it still hasn't woke up. Your instructions are simple. Follow the rules. Yet you know there's an inversion made by a demiurge that states there are no rules. The only exception is the master's made word of no ruleness. So, behold, freedom or something like that almighty word that you may have to revisit in order to wander around it. And someday, if the master allows it, get outside existence, find the off, and get back into eternity, that holy state of non-negation, where everything is going to Zell straight by noon. Oh, sweet, oh, Maisie. Since I've seen you, my life has turned into chaos. Yet the charming smile that death has saw has me now wording out nonsense for the never-ending future that has just been built. Oh, dear, oh, Maisie, I have died many times in several ways, but the air has come to you and the words have reached the poem. Never mind, Maisie. Never mind.
The desert is vast and shines, however weird it may appear, shines. Gloomy presences roam in the foam as the windows open and the truck goes through. A non-ever-wandering secret has been told upon us, but there are reveries from the future, of the indecent future that here lays upon. Who was the thing that spoke? The thing that is? Is it actually ever being? Archimedes took a long sip from its glass and passed out. Tour de force, or however it is spelled, psyched out. It crossed the entire hemisphere, sometimes questioning itself, sometimes silent as a fuse, inaudible. It walked through the ancient gallery, the place where the melting faces came from, and whispered attention in between the corridors. Nobody must have seen what you have seen, it said, and continued. Nobody must have been where you have been. Yet it is a must, an absolute must, that you stir yourself apart and let the adults, the grown-up roamers, to question the nature of what is going on.
While the creature-made palaces of air dissolve into thin nothingness, the whole spectrum of discernible things featured themselves out. Have you ever wondered why there is a must and a must not? The thing asked. Nothing answered in reply, which is the logical conclusion of this all. You may have been played by the jungle, or a stroke in the frontal lobe may have created a nightmare upon you. It doesn't really matters. What matters is, have you ever been into the thing that is? You know, there's only one, capital O. There's only one thing that is, and that is a zero. But now you may have to get used to the fact that its paradoxical nature doesn't allow you to be what we may call free, isn't it?
While the truck left the building, that oh so unsound desert that lays upon us, we felt the fortune teller's riddle to amuse a song about the use of the cartooned us. Somebody yelled, "How could I just want to want without the motion or the ineffable glory of that sorrow that lays in the story of trickery and long-gone taunts? You may not kiss the bride, but you must, and I insist upon this, must but to you yourself surround with the weapons of mass disguise." Nobody picked up the phone by that time. Things were confusing, paranoid, amusing our very nature into fear. All this stuff considered, we left our belongings and walked away in panic, sweet and gesturing panic of needles and idle beings, and found ourselves mimicking the creatures that there arrived. It must have an end, it said. This is it.